welcome to another video from the Ice Bear. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends, and here we go. Now then all, you join me in the camper, towing the car, which can only mean one thing: it's winter upgrades time. We're off to see Graham and the doc, down at somewhere I like to call the Z-Tech factory. And yeah, time to get all the new goodies on the car, ready for the new season. So I'll carry on driving, and we'll be back when we get there. Okay, it's the day after the night before. Dropped her off. Right, let's explain what we're going to do. So, job one. New, bigger turbo going in. Oh yes, because 30 psi is not enough anymore, is it? Let's be honest. And then job two is sort of front end, the car, checking all this out and putting like a nice thin metal in there. The idea being to bring the radiator a little bit further forward, maybe stand it straight up, give us a bit more room down here for the bigger turbo, and also to provide us room to get pipe in here to be inlet for the turbo, and then the exhaust to come up out here, because we're getting rid of the power steering, that's being sent bye-bye, so we don't need that where we're going, so the exhaust up here and out the bonnet. And then we can have an under tray fitted, and everything's fucking cushy. And then outside of that, we have some new drive shafts that are nice and bigger, and then that is coming out, and we're going to go through it and refresh it. New bearings and new jazz, bigger head studs, some copper rings in the block, hold all the new Mucho Grande boost in, because we're hoping for, well, £40 a boost would be nice, wouldn't it? You know, more's always more. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah. Right, we'll crack on and we'll catch you later. Graham didn't take long to get to work. Front end bar's done, new bigger turbo is mounted, power steering delete brackets in there, it picks up for the new location for the radiator, everything cushy. Here we have the bigger drive shafts that went in, a little bit of a faff with the bracket, but we got there. Graham's lovely work getting the new exhaust and screamer pipe sorted and poking a nice hole out the bonnet. Isn't that lovely? He then took the engine and box out and put me a flywheel shield in. All the parts are in. Oh, well, barring one bit of Loctite, but that'll turn up. And here we have it all. New alternator, because the old one broke the connector and just spits out 13.5 volts without being plugged in, with it being Ford Smart Charge, so new one of them to make it up. The old electric stop button. Battery cut off for the electric stop button. Black nasty. Can never have too much of that. Dust sheets, masking tape. You can tell what we're leading up to here, can't we? Engine bay paint. White enamel. Look it nice and bright in there so we can see any leaks or anything that's happening. Paint for the engine enamel. Etch primer, obviously. A bit of brake cleaner, gearbox oil. Then we've got, what are they? That's crank bolts. Main studs, that's the word. Mucho Grande boost spring. Cam belt, gaskets, yada yada yada, water pump, pulleys, filtery bits, plugs, new fuel filter, various bits and bats, new engine bearings in there, ready for the rebuild, and the old coolant pipes and a boost elbow. So, off to unpick the engine up first and get it borrowing a stand off Graham so I can get it stripped down and all that jazz. So I picked that up in one of my vehicles and I've got to go back with the camper and the trailer to get the actual car. Yes mate, I'm doing a video. You saying hello?
Hi.
Good man. So yeah, so we'll go and get the engine and then get the car back and go from there. Catch you later. Well, this took longer than it should, but it's now on the engine stand. Had to use the tail lift and slide her out and jiggery pokery, but we're there. We're on the engine stand. Right, made a bit of a mess, a bit of coolant running out of it, but it didn't fall over, nothing's damaged, nothing's bent. Happy fucking days. Alright, let's get it in the garage. Okay, end of a long day. Lots of running to and froing. And a little break to watch England lose to Ireland. But oh well. Anyway, car's back. Covers on it. Engine's in the garage on the stand, ready for maximum attack tomorrow. In the preliminary checks, I did find that back bracket there's broken, which is a bit of a bastard, isn't it? But thankfully Graham had a spare, so he's given me that. Been missing a bolt under there too, actually. I don't know if you can see just up there. So yeah, I'll get that stripped down tomorrow. Ready for Graham to put the M12 head studs to it. Out of the big old parts pile. So yeah, So a couple of seconds for you, overnight for me. Let's get into it. Okay, Sunday morning, time to get going. So I've prepared my workbench, which is my garden table with some paper towel on it. You know, needs must. We're going to start by organising this belt length, because obviously we've got rid of the power steering. We need to make the belt shorter, because obviously the tensioner is at full trying to tension and we've still got Mucho Grande slack. So yeah, we need to shorten that probably by, I bet it'd be 20, I bet it'd be a good 10 centimetres if not more. So I'm going to set the tension to sort of halfway with the little pinhole thingy, and then measure the belt up. That's first job. Alright, easy as that. That's how much I need out the belt to get us pretty well halfway to the tensioner to sitting halfway, which I think will be pretty close at that. So this is let's have a look at the badge on it. Is that upside down? Yep. Right. So we've got a 6PK 1973. So 6 ribs, 1973 long in millimetres. So I can go to Euro Car Parts or wherever and see what they've got around, what, 1950, 1940, 1945, something like that. Maybe get a couple of options and try them and see what works best. Alright, on to the next thing. Alright, next job, alternator off. That doesn't come out until inlet's off, so that ends up being the next job. Metal splinter already, lovely. Don't you just fucking love it? What I've done there is that bottom bolt doesn't come out without the alternator out of the way, but the inlet's got to be out of the way for the alternator to be out of the way, and now it's not a reversible ratchet spanner, so that's stuck in there until it's all out of the way. But it's loose enough for the inlet to come off, so yay. Anyway, I'll crack on with the rest of it. Okay, well, that's the alternator out then. So now I can now get this spanner out and this bolt. Okay, and now the inlet should come off, just like that. Okay, right, so that's that off. Let's do alternator bracket next. This is effectively just one bolt holding this bracket on. It's less than ideal. Not that it's ever moved, or I've noticed it moving, but yeah, as you can see, this edge has been cracked off it through vibration and whatnot. There's also a tube welded on here, so whether that bracket was broken beforehand and he's fixed it, Don't know, but we'll soon find out. I can soon give him a call. Oh, that bolt snapped in there, that's why there's no bolt in there. Yeah, okay. Next up, we'll go around the other side and get the exhaust manifold off. How do we attack this? Well, okay. Downpipe. Okay, there that goes then. Plug was stuck in it. Got the thermostat off now to make it easier to get to an exhaust bolt, and what we're doing is blanking this off and blanking this one off. So I'll take this to Graham and he's going to weld something over the ends, and you know, so then the water doesn't go through there, so we'll just have water at the main outlet and obviously a little bit going to the expansion bowl. So happy days. So, another bracket. Ah, success! Whoo, you! What a cunt that bolt is. What a cunt. Anyway. Some reason that one's on a stud. Couldn't tell you why. So's that. And there's another stud at that end. Could not tell you why some of them were stud and most of bolts. No idea. But the exhaust manifold is off. Exhaust manifold is finally off. Now we're going to take front end apart. So this bracket's first. Got to take this pulley off to get to a bolt behind it. Water pump pulley for a bolt behind it. Water pump's coming out anyway. We've got a new one of them. Then we'll be able to time it up, mark it up, then top end and take the head off. So on with that. Little trick with Torx bolts, guys. Always hammer them in, especially if you're using like the gold ones, as they are linished flat at the end. And if you don't hammer them in, or something you're expecting to be tight, then you'll probably round it off. And also the shock helps maybe loosen it as well. There we have it. I mean, they're sooty, but nothing essentially wrong with them. Right, so now we want to time it up. Now I think I've got a timing bar in here. Right, so engine's timed up, screwdriver in the plug hole. Again, not catching you hard. So next up is pop the belt off and take the head off. Right, on with that. Right, now they're all cracked off and loose. Like doing stages and work your way out, you'll snap a cam and have all that spring pressure on one thing. Once they're all loose, you can just spin the rest out. Little Taparooski. Inlet cam. Get rid of the old seal. So we've got new ones to go off that. Made that. Got new ones of them, so this is inlet cam. It's quite obvious with the big old purple thing on the end of it, which is nice. Exhaust cam. Again, same deal. Get this seal off it. Okay. Right. Next up is head studs. Bit of a fucking problem. That's my socket for the head studs. It's done all of them barring one because this stud here, that's on the, just inside there, that stud isn't down in the block as far as the rest, and therefore my socket won't go down over it onto the nut. So I need a deep socket. I haven't got one. So the choices are either drill out the centre of that till it goes over it, and hopefully I've got enough room to get the bit of the drive plug of the ratchet into the socket to turn it enough, or find a deep one. I haven't got one here, so maybe a phone call to Graham or what, I don't know, but see who's got one where. Well, I'll ring round and I'll let you know what happens. Success, ladies and gents. I actually fucking managed it. Drilled the middle of the socket out to 9mm. And it was just enough to get down over there and mop the nut off. I'm fucking well happy with that. Right, let's get these nuts out. Get the magnet on the stick. So I've just dropped that said nut. Look up, there we go. Ta-da! One nut. The fucking bad boy Brewster. Got it! Anyway, I'm as happy as a pig in shit. I'll whip the rest of these out now. So in theory this should pull off now, and yes it does. And I can just sit there nicely. Okay, head studs out, banging. Okay, missed a little bit there, but so far what I've done, crankcase breather come off, water pumps out, this side of the block going from this corner, crank sensors out, nothing left but the oil pump, so that's the next thing. Crack off the bottom, crack off the end, take the oil pump off the bottom, that all comes off as one hit. Then there's just the oil filter take off, and then crank pulley and covers, and then I can spin it over and get the rods and pistons out. But I'm not sure how much battery life we've got left, so if it cuts off all of a sudden, batteries run out on the phone. But we'll see you on the other side. Okay, battery died in that phone that was filming it, so here we are. Rods and pistons are out, looking absolutely minty. The bearings look great. Next, I don't think anything's been through them at any point, to be honest. Looks lovely. Low oil in pump's been very good, obviously. Plenty of oil around, but the rod journals look absolutely mint. There's not a mark on them. So next up, we'll whip the crank out, and then that's it. It's fully disassembled then, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Catch up to you later. There we have it, ladies and gents. The engine is apart. The crank's in a bucket. Main cap bolts there. All the bearings look fan-fucking-tastic. Looks brilliant in there. Barely know I've even done it with it, let alone kick its head in all its life. Right, so wash a bit of the oil out of that, and then take that to Graham. He's going to put some M12 head studs in it for me. Graham will assemble it, but see, he's going to be better at that than I am. Taking it apart's the easy bit, you know. Aside from the amount of parts, I mean, we've got a full table of wares. Bagged all the nuts and bolts up and labelled them all, make life easy. And yeah, so get Graham to put the M12 through that. I've got access to a industrial parts washer thing, so I'll get it then washed in with that, and then get that in there washed with it. And yeah, and then give that a lick of paint in the green there, and then yeah, get it assembled. Right, sound. Evening all. It is Tuesday evening. We've still got all the parts on the table. We've got some bits hanging in the roof just there and right above me here. Water pump power's in there and one of the brackets up there drying. Now, tonight's job is one of the best jobs you can find on a car. Scraping old gaskets, like nasty slaz off things. So we're most of the way around. We've got down there to go, and then that can go in the industrial parts washer along with the block and sump pan. Then that's tomorrow night when I'm on my night shift, because I've got access to a industrial parts washer at a truck dealership, so I can get that in, get it all cleaned up nice, and then that can get a lick of paint. And after that, I think we're time for engine assembly, which would be nice. So yeah, I'll crack on. See you in a bit. Okay, so here we have a little crack, potentially a crack. As much as I like getting pictures of Graham, not when it's like this. So this put a pause on proceedings, but we still need to do certain amounts of work and get this block in for checking if it's cracked or not. Well, here I am at one of my customers, Lancashire DAF. That Chuchin is my engine block in this big fucking machine here. Getting a bath at 64 degrees temp. So get that nice and clean, and we're going to get it off for block testing for this potential crack that Graham found some of the pictures of. We'll get that done on Saturday morning. Don't know how long it'll take, but I'll drop it off Saturday morning. And cross my fingers. If not, it'll be prepping a new block. Ah well, fingers crossed. Okay, so block dropped off at J&E Engineering's over in, where are we? Rottenstall? Rosendale? Deepest, darkest Lancashire. Somewhere. So yeah, I'll find out Thursday. I'm up sort of this way on Thursday for work, so I'll swing by and pick it up Thursday, and we're gonna cross my fucking fingers. Alright, back home, and then we start with engine bay. Okay, we're back in the garage, and now it's time to paint up a couple of bits of the engine that I do have. I would have liked to have been painting the block, but obviously that's a way of checking for cracks, so I'll have to wait while potentially Thursday. If it's cracked, potentially longer, who fucking knows. But we have managed to do a couple of bits though. First thing we've done, sump pan. Lovely, proper fucking shade of green, that. Matches the cam cover beautifully. And then this bit is the, I suppose some people call it the upper sump, cradle, whatever you'd call it. Got a hit of etch primer on it now. And then we'll hit that with some more green, because there is no better colour for a race car. Simple as that. Right, I'll get on with that. Check in with you later. Update time. That's drying. That's drying. Now it's time to work on the engine bay. So we've whipped the cross-membrane intercooler out, bumpers off. So we're going to start here, because why the fuck not? And it's a case of tidying up. So bits like that come out. Take the engine mount off. This bracket, I need that tang. So I'm going to slice here. So I need, leave them 2 spot welds, or them 3 spot welds. But I need this tang to hold the expansion bottle here. But the rest of this bracket can knob off, because it holds the power steering pump, which we don't have anymore. So slice down there with the angle grinder, drill those spot welds out, that bracket can come off. Then brake pipe needs to stay. This extra little bracket here on the servo can go. I'm going to probably shorten this up so it's a bit straighter onto the clutch feed pipe. And then, take any of this under sound deadening, that I can get to, take that off, work my way around, taking anything out, and then prep it so I can just give it a hit of paint. Clean it all up, and then hopefully it'll look nice and tidy. So I'm thinking of going real bold with the colour in here and not a green. It's either going to be, well, I'm going to try a certain colour. White.
Danger's my middle name.
If that doesn't work, it's going to get twat cam black.
Language.
It only has to look good for a few pictures and a bit of a video, doesn't it? And then bonnet's down, rest at time. Meh. Right, I'll crack on doing that, and I'll update you as I get on. Right, another little progress update. As you can see, we've taken the mount out. That bracket has gone. I pulled a bit of the sound deadening from all around that. Next job is to get rid of this excess panel here. No, we'll just go into where this line of spot welds is. We'll leave this in, because I'm going to possibly use that to support something. And then, obviously, we've gone to the line of the spot welds there, and we'll probably tidy this corner off. So the next job is to finish cutting that out, tidy it up, tidy that corner off there, make it a bit, rather than just a big step, we'll probably angle it in over there. And yeah, all this just to get some more fucking sound deadening out from behind the servo. We'll keep going. No better to do today, is there? Okay, I am now sat in the engine bay.
Like it when you talk dirty to me.
And yeah, I think I'm pretty much done for grinding. Here we go, let me show you. So we've smoothed off this radius here. We've left this little bracket in to hold the bottom of the screen, because it's on a beefy bit there. And then we've trimmed this back to the spot welds all the way around there. So we've got a bit of extra room to go in. So we'll have to make a new bracket for this to sit somewhere around here. Probably pick... oh, excuse me. Pick up from that bracket there to a little T-bar plate that then picks up these 2 holes. So I'm still going to have the little trim piece that fits over here so water doesn't get in and it reaches the back of the bonnet. Is it just? I think it just looks better that way with that trimming there, so there isn't just a gap between the bonnet and the screen. And that's the way I want it, so that's what we'll do. Yeah. I shall crack on. I'll give this a hit of paint and pull some more of this sound deadening out from behind the reservoir. Not reservoir. Keep saying that, don't I? Servo. And then move further round. A couple of little brackets to whip off. And some stuff to move out the way. And then I can probably jet wash it. I'll have to block the hole up in the servo. And there's a couple of holes in the bulkhead that I'll have to put some on. But I'll probably jet wash in here, actually. Get rid of the grease and the smegma. And then let it dry overnight. And maybe attack a bit of paint in the morning. Right, see you in a bit. Jobbed. All the sound deadening is out of there and is now in the bin. Mountains of it. But we did get it all. We got all the curvature and all the rest of it. And I can't feel any behind there anymore. So next on the list, that little bracket there, that horseshoe bracket there, 2 spot welds, and that should pop off. And that little threaded stud next to it there. We'll get them off, and then See whatever else there is to come off around there. Any erroneous brackets like that little thing there can knob off, can't it? And that bracket there, not using that anymore, so that can probably be trimmed down and got rid of, or half of it got rid of at the very least. And just tidy up in here, and then we'll take that out. That can have a lick of paint separately, and then get the engine bay washed. Right, going along swimmingly well, other than, actually, say swimmingly well, other than a bit of a boo-boo on the old finger.
Oh, poor baby.
Happens when I use a grinder, but hey-ho, we'll keep going. Right, I think that is all the erroneous brackets out the way. Let me show you. Grab the old torch-a-rooney here, so got rid of the power steering bracket, we got rid of all the sound deadening, we've got rid of that big old chunk of steel there, we've just tied them up out the way. That'll live somewhere near there, the reservoir. And then got rid of a bracket off the block down there. And then we've trimmed this bracket up. We need this 10mm threaded hole here for bits that attach to it, so I've trimmed that bracket down and see a couple of spot welds I got rid of and got rid of the end of that bracket. Right, now it's time to clean it all up. I'm going to wrap the wiring up, find a way of plugging some holes, and then get some a stiff brush and some degreaser out and see how we get on. Right, see you in a bit. Okay, so we've given it a hit of like degreaser, bagged everything up, covered the holes up, and given it a hit of degreaser and a bit of a rinse off just with the hose pipe, not put a jet washer on it yet. Don't think I'm going to need to. I might just repeat down here a little bit. That's come up good. All the tops come up nice. It probably wants a bit of an agitation with the brush up there. And down here seems to be alright. So, yeah. I'll give it once more with the force and a rinse off and then blow dry it off. And that'll be us for today. Let it dry overnight. Once I've, blasted all the water off with the air pressure. Yeah, happy days. Sunday morning, we're back at it. So, what we're doing today. All the subframes, so down here, down in the back there, and down the bottom. We're going to do in Twatcan black first. Oh, stepping on stuff.
Are you stupid or something?
We're going to do that in black first, tidy that up. Then, as that's drying, I can be masking up the rest of it to try and, get it ready for trying some white on it. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to mask it all up, but we're going to give it a go and see what happens. Some bits I don't need to mask up, like the ABS pump and stuff doesn't do anything other than sit there and add a bit of weight on the front and let the brake fluid go through it. So that can be painted. We're not trying to protect anything in that regard. Wiring harness we'll have to tape up. I'll have to tape up the wiring harness there. Brake lines I'm not bothered about. Reservoir will tape up. Probably have to tape up the master cylinder there as well. Outside of that, should be good, I think. Looking around, should be good to pretty well paint the rest of it. So that is the job for today. Oh, while I've got you, they came out schmicko. We're taking the masking tape off, so the gasket services don't have paint on now. But yeah, happy with how they turned out. So let's see if we can get the engine bay to the same standard or better and go from there. Update time. We've masked it all off. I've got a few bits still to tape down, where it's flapping in the breeze. Masked up that pipe, reservoir, done me green lines that I don't want painting a different colour. The rest of it I don't mind getting a bit of colour on. So yeah, Twatcanned a bit of black around the bottom, just not that you can really tell, but hey ho. So now over here what we've got, hit it with a bit of etch primer and then we've got the white warming up in some warm water. Not like kettle hot, just like normal hot tap hot, just to up the pressure in the cans a little bit, and it's a bit cold today and and we're outside, so we're not expecting a body shop finish. But I'd like it to look as best as it can with my skill set, which is not high.
Now! Really?
Let me make that plain. And we could end up hitting all of this with Twatcan black for all this, if it doesn't look right. So, yeah, we're going to warm them up. I'm going to finish masking off now and taping up, and then we'll hit it with some primer and I'll get back to you then. Well, I'm going to call that a success. It's all one colour of primer grey now, which is nice. Light's not the best, but you know, it's all one colour, which is fucking lovely. So now we're gonna check the warm white paint cans out and see if we can make a go of it. So I'm going to start with a chassis. I can see how that happens. And if I get carried away, I get carried away. But if not, I'll check in with you shortly. Well, it's white, but looks shit.
Excellent.
Let me show you. Now you see from here, alright, lovely. However, put a bit of light on it, and it's run fucking city. I mean, look at the state of that shit. Doesn't want to stick to fuck all, so I'm going to give it an hour, and then I'm going to twat can it black.
Hey, you twat.
Well, it was a nice try, but maybe in a proper paint shop, certainly be much better preparation, you know what I mean? Rather than just spraying it on. It might have gone better, but I'm at home in my garage. So we'll twat can it black, and it'll all be one colour, and it'll look alright. So I'll check in with you in a little while and let you know how I get on. I managed to keep the green lines safe. Wiring's good. Wiring's all taped up. I'll have to take that tape off the loom there. But yeah, a glorious shade of twat can black. So happy with that. Tried the white yet, wanted white, but wasn't to be. So the backup plan was always the twat can black, and here we are. We're black. Look at that. Oh, look at that green right behind me. Yeah. Right, so that about wraps it up. Yeah. Not much left to do now for me. It's just a case of crossing my fingers and waiting for Thursday. I'm going to get the engine back and see if it's cracked or not. If it is, then we'll have to get the spare out and get that sent off to the machine shop, and that'll delay us a week or so, or what have you. But not then again, I'm not getting some of the powder coating stuff back till end of month anyway, so we're not in a huge rush. So at this point, kind of paused, crossing my fingers, and we shall see. So the next you'll see from me is probably Thursday when I pick it up. And if I'm crying, you'll know it's fucked. If I'm happy, then we'll be good to go. And so yeah, so if it's good, then I'll take it to Graham ready for engine assembly. If it's not, then we'll have to get the spare block stripped apart and off to the machine shop. So yeah. Right, thank you all very much for watching. We shall catch you in a little bit on Thursday. Yeah, right, so let's go and enjoy the Super Bowl.